Have you ever noticed a change in your sexual health or wondered why things are no longer the way they used to be? In this video, we'll uncover the hidden reasons why many men experience a decline in intimacy and sexual function. Even more importantly, we'll share the solutions you need to regain a healthy and fulfilling life in this area. From emotional struggles and relationship issues to health concerns, the causes of sexual inactivity are complex. But understanding them is the first step toward real solutions. Stay with us until the end, because we will not only explain what might be wrong, but we'll also reveal practical steps and expert tips that can help restore your vitality and improve your overall well-being. Don't miss this valuable information that could change your life. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and activate the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. Your support means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue these valuable teachings by liking and sharing it. In this video, we'll explore together the deeper causes and actions that can sometimes make a decisive difference. It's important to take a moment to understand that sexuality and relationships are intimate topics that affect each of us in unique ways. Before we continue, I invite you to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our enriching videos on sexuality and relationships. If this video resonates with you or seems helpful, don't hesitate to like it. That way, others can discover our valuable content. And above all, take a moment to comment. A 1 if this topic deeply interests you, or a 0 if you think it's not relevant. Your opinion is valuable to us and helps us create higher quality content focused on your concerns and needs. Sometimes, men can feel like their masculinity, desire, or even sexual activity are no longer the same as before. It's an experience that can be unsettling and sometimes even frightening. But it's important to know that this can happen for many reasons. Some are physical, related to health problems, but others are much deeper and rooted in emotions and relationships. When these changes occur, they can significantly affect a couple's sexual life and intimacy, causing discomfort, anxiety, and sometimes misunderstanding. It's crucial to understand what's behind this phenomenon. Because by taking the time to understand what's happening in our bodies and minds, we can truly move forward. This knowledge paves the way for solutions and actions that can restore a healthy, fulfilling, and passionate sexual life. And this awareness starts with recognizing this phenomenon and its causes. One of the main reasons a man might notice a decrease in his sexual activity is relationship problems. When a couple goes through conflicts, misunderstandings, or unresolved tensions, the most intimate part of the relationship is often the first to suffer. Frustration, emotional distance, or even unspoken things can create an invisible barrier that prevents authentic and satisfying sexual connection. Therefore, it's vital to restore sincere communication and an environment of trust to reignite the flame of intimacy. When communication is lacking, arguments become a constant echo, and emotional distance grows, sexual desire can gradually disappear. This is a reality that many couples experience, but it can be especially devastating when it affects a relationship that seems strong. Too often, one partner starts to feel invisible, neglected, or misunderstood, which can lead to emotional withdrawal and, unfortunately, also physical withdrawal. Without open dialogue, it's easy to get lost in one's thoughts, accumulate frustrations, and drift apart without even realizing it. This feeling of rejection, this need to withdraw to protect oneself from pain, inevitably becomes an invisible barrier that weakens the relationship further over time. Without a deep emotional connection, the intimate moments that once brought pleasure and satisfaction start to lose their appeal. What used to be natural becomes a burden. Sexual desire gradually fades, like a flame that goes out without fuel. The couple then falls into a vicious cycle. The lack of affection mixes with daily stress, fatigue, and life's worries, making resolving conflicts harder and harder. Work stress, growing family responsibilities, financial worries, all of this becomes a heavy burden. Each person lives in their own reality, with no one there to share the emotional weight. This lack of emotional and physical support eventually leads to an insurmountable gap. This gap widens over time, and the physical connection slowly disappears almost naturally. Intimacy is replaced by unspoken things, silences, and mechanical gestures. Sexual intercourse becomes less frequent, less passionate, and less satisfying. The couple then finds itself in a state of resignation, thinking that this is simply the natural course of things, as if passion and desire have been taken away by the day-to-day grind. But this is not the case. It's not an inevitable fact. The truth is that the problem isn't the loss of desire itself, but the inability to understand what might have caused this decrease. It is possible to rediscover the warmth and magic of an intimate relationship. But to do so, one must first be aware of what is wrong and, most importantly, what could help restore that valuable connection. It begins with listening, with understanding the emotional and physical needs of the other. It's essential to break the silence, open up to dialogue, even when it seems difficult. This courage to talk about difficulties and address them together can breathe new life into a relationship that seemed destined for oblivion. To restore a fulfilling sexual life, reignite that deep connection, and share moments of pleasure again, I invite you to discover a powerful tool, the ebook Rediscovering Intimacy: Healthy Sexuality After 60. This guide is designed to help you overcome the emotional and physical challenges related to intimacy and bring passion and closeness back to your marriage or relationship. It offers practical yet motivating advice to guide you step by step toward a satisfying relationship. You'll find ways to strengthen your communication, restore trust, and, above all, reignite the flame of love and desire that may have weakened over time. Don't wait to take action. Click on the first pinned comment to get your copy now. But don't hesitate, as copies are limited. You must not miss this opportunity. Rediscover the beauty of your intimate connection. Open the door to a new romantic adventure and give your relationship the chance to develop like never before. You deserve a love life full of happiness and satisfaction. You deserve to rediscover joy and passion. It's not too late. There's still time to transform your romantic and emotional life. Don't let the daily struggles destroy what can still be beautiful and valuable. The opportunity to redefine your romantic future is in your hands. Don't wait any longer. Take your destiny into your own hands today. The second reason why the penis can become inactive is related to grief, a pain so deep it consumes both the soul and the body. The loss of a loved one is such an overwhelming test that its effects are felt in every aspect of daily life, including sexuality. The sadness accompanying such grief can be so intense that it overshadows all other desires, including intimate ones. If you're still watching this video and find these teachings useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're still with us. I would love to hear your thoughts, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to receive more valuable content. Thank you for being part of this journey. Therefore, it's normal for the desire to physically connect with someone to disappear, as during this dark time, it may seem like a part of oneself has been irreparably lost. It's a feeling of emptiness, of lack, a sense that nothing can fill that void. The pain caused by this loss leads to both emotional and physical separation, sometimes so deep that it can last months or even years. The intimate life, once an essential part of the relationship, becomes a gray area, a space that's avoided, as if it were an open wound you'd rather not touch. Grief, however natural and human, acts like a dark veil that consumes sexuality. Desire becomes a distant, almost unreal concept as pain fills all available space. And it's not just a mental state. The body reacts to this suffering by gradually adapting to a life without intimate relations. This adaptation to the absence of physical contact, hugs, and intimate moments can silently settle in. Lack becomes the norm, and desire becomes a distant memory. Returning to passion and intimacy becomes a great challenge, as it adds another fear to the suffering, the fear of reopening the heart. A broken heart fears being torn apart again. It's hard to imagine getting close to someone again, experiencing that vulnerability once more, because the prospect of loss is too painful. This creates an emotional barrier that makes it almost impossible to return to a healthy and fulfilling intimate life. It is crucial to understand the effects of grief on sexual health, knowing that it's a difficult time, but not necessarily a permanent situation. It's important to accept that desires fade during this time of mourning, but equally important to recognize that over time, healing must take place in order to restore that intimate connection. Taking care of oneself and taking time to accept and heal is a decisive step toward reclaiming healthy sexuality after grief. The third cause, and not least important, of penile inactivity is chronic illness. When a man faces a serious illness, such as cancer or another condition requiring long-term treatment, the impact is much broader than just the physical symptoms. The illness, with its harsh treatments, side effects, and uncertainty about the future, deeply affects both the body and the mind. Therefore, maintaining a full, intimate life becomes difficult, even impossible. Fatigue, pain, depression, and the many health concerns slowly reduce sexual desire. The body, exhausted by fighting the illness, seems to lose its energy and desire, and even the mind pulls away from seeking pleasure. This does not mean the libido has been permanently lost, but that the mind and body are temporarily in a state of survival, occupied with battling the illness. Therefore, understanding these deeper causes, whether emotional or physical, is essential to question these changes and, in some cases, find lasting and satisfying intimacy again. But it's important to take the time to heal, take care of oneself, and not judge the body or mind too harshly while going through difficult trials. These obstacles may seem insurmountable at one point, but with time, patience, and the right support, it's possible to find the way back to a rich and fulfilling sexual and emotional life. Severe treatments such as chemotherapy and radiation therapy can have devastating effects on both the body and mind. In addition to extreme fatigue and constant pain, these treatments cause hormonal changes that deeply affect sexual desire. It's not uncommon for the body and mind to be so affected by the side effects of these treatments that they completely isolate from intimacy. The focus then shifts to physical and emotional recovery, relegating sexuality to a secondary concern compared to fighting the illness. This disinterest in intimate moments is not a conscious decision, but a natural reaction of the body, which, in its effort to heal, temporarily shuts down less vital functions. Additionally, the constant pain, the effects of chemotherapy and radiation therapy can limit the physical capacity to engage sexually, which increases frustration and widens the emotional distance. Intimate connection then gradually disintegrates, and over time, penile inactivity sets in, making this absence of intimacy a difficult cycle to break. The body gets used to this new reality, and finding a full sexual life becomes a real challenge. Another equally important reason is the decrease in sexual desire, also known as loss of libido. This phenomenon affects many people at different times in their lives, and its causes can be varied and complex. Stress, fatigue, and emotional problems like depression can contribute to this decrease in desire. When a person is overwhelmed by daily concerns, whether related to work, family, or personal challenges, the body remains in a constant state of tension, leading certain functions, including sexual desire, to shut down. The body, in its natural wisdom, seeks to conserve energy for perceived, more urgent priorities, such as work or family obligations. Desire then becomes an energy that seems drained, as if passion is locked at the bottom of a dusty box, becoming harder to access. Moreover, some medications, especially those prescribed for conditions like hypertension or depression, may have adverse side effects on libido. Men taking these medications may notice a significant decrease in desire, which can be a decisive factor in the decline of sexual activity. The body, exhausted from accumulated tension, anxiety, or even unwanted effects from treatments, seems to gradually disconnect from physical pleasures, and interest in intimacy slowly disappears. Over time, as this decrease in sexual desire becomes more persistent, the penis in its role for intimacy is no longer used as frequently as before. The body then adapts to this new situation. Penile inactivity gradually sets in, and it becomes more difficult to reactivate this lost desire. This process, while natural and often temporary, can become a cycle hard to break. Men in this state of withdrawal may feel shame or guilt, believing something is wrong with them. But it's essential to understand that these phases of libido loss are part of an overall process of managing the body and mind in response to daily challenges. The fifth reason for penile inactivity is work overload. In a society where professional success is often seen as an indicator of personal worth, men may get caught in a spiral of stress and pressure to succeed. When work becomes the absolute priority, both the mind and body remain constantly on alert, overloaded with responsibilities, deadlines, and the need to perform. This mental and physical overload creates a mental barrier that makes it difficult to relax and focus on the more intimate aspects of life. Accumulated stress, long hours of work, and constant pressure to meet professional expectations create an emotional gap, making intimacy harder to reach. Moments of relaxation and pleasure are often seen as a luxury, things for which there is no time, and sexuality becomes just another area of obligations rather than a pleasurable and liberating experience. The body, in its effort to survive and be efficient, may deactivate certain functions, and one of them could be sexuality. It's not for lack of desire, but simply because energy is directed elsewhere where priorities are perceived as more urgent. Over time, this lifestyle may lead to an emotional and physical disconnect from the partner, and sexual desire may eventually diminish unless a conscious effort is made to restore balance. In each of these cases, it's crucial to understand that sexual desire is not something fixed or constant. It's influenced by multiple factors that are sometimes complex. But it is also possible to restore intimacy, reactivate desire, and find full sexuality again. The road may be long, but it starts with recognizing these underlying causes and taking steps to restore balance between the body, mind, and intimate relationships. If you're still watching this video and find these teachings helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're still with us. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to receive more valuable content. Thanks for being part of this journey. With so many daily worries and obligations, the brain literally becomes overloaded, leading it to almost unconsciously deactivate sexual desire in order to conserve energy and focus on tasks considered a priority. The reality of modern life, with its deadlines, expectations, and responsibilities, rarely leaves room for intimate well-being. Additionally, after a long day, whether at work, at home, or in various obligations, the body is exhausted and drained. The fatigue is so great that it simply seems there's no energy left for sexual activity. The body and mind are overloaded, and sexuality, though essential for well-being, is relegated to the back. This leads to a gradual decrease in sexual interest, as the mind is constantly occupied with urgent problems or handling multiple responsibilities. Over time, this absence of intimacy becomes the new norm, a state where the penis is used less frequently, as the body slowly adapts to this routine, almost as if there is no space for intimate moments. The lack of physical affection becomes a habit, and without conscious intervention, this can lead to true penile inactivity. This transformation is not only physical, but also emotional. The physical distance from the partner is reflected in increasing emotional distance. Sexuality is no longer perceived as a priority, and the lack of intimacy continues to gradually weaken the bonds. The sixth reason, often related to age, is the natural decline in testosterone levels, which affects many men as they age, especially during andropause. This hormone plays a crucial role in sexual desire, vitality, and overall energy. When testosterone levels decrease, interest in intimate moments can naturally be affected. This phenomenon is inevitable, but can be experienced differently depending on the individual. Moreover, in men undergoing severe medical treatments, such as those common in prostate cancer, hormonal production can be severely impacted by the medications used to treat the disease. These treatments, while essential for survival and health, can lead to a significant loss of libido and turn sexual life into an area where desire seems to gradually fade. This is a harsh reality for many, as the desire to approach their partner diminishes due to these hormonal changes. However, it is important to emphasize that these hormonal changes, whether natural or caused by medical treatments, do not mean that sexuality should disappear. On the contrary, understanding these dynamics is essential to address them proactively. The path to rediscovering desire and intimacy begins with accepting physical and emotional realities while seeking appropriate solutions, whether medical, psychological, or relationship-related. While testosterone is a key factor, there are many approaches to restoring balance and reigniting the flame of intimacy. Thank you for staying with us throughout. We've explored important factors that can influence your sexual health and intimacy, from the effects of stress and emotional burdens to natural age-related changes. The journey toward understanding and improving intimacy is deeply personal, but it is a journey worth taking. Now, I would like to know what you've learned today and what impressed you the most. Is there anything new you plan to implement in your own life or relationship? Share it in the comments below. Your thoughts could help someone else who is going through a similar experience. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. By subscribing, you won't miss any of our future content and will continue receiving valuable advice to improve your relationships and intimacy. Thank you for being part of this community, and see you very soon in the next video.